this young lady named Zamaya. She dropped out of Allen High School. Really nice kid, met her at the Boys and Girls Club, and she read, I don't know her reading level, but I'd say elementary school. She could barely read, barely do math, and she dropped out when she was 17. And I thought to myself, wow, what's going on here? So that's why I ran back in 2011, so I could try to do something to help kids like Zamaya out. And then lo and behold, I was able to, with the support of the rest of the board members, to do something for kids like Zamaya. It's still in the very beginning stages of the engagement center and working with CIS to kind of target those kids at a younger age. If I had my way, we'd target them as soon as they walk in the door. Every single kid would have an outreach worker tied to the family, but that's a ways away. So for now, we will settle for the re-engagement center and CIS workers in the middle schools and high schools. And that's honestly the reason why I decided to run again. If it weren't for that re-engagement center opening and some movement in that area, I don't think I would have ran again. But since there is some movement, I thought, wow, I could maybe effectuate some change on this board. So let me just stick around, and I'd say the next 4 years of restoring the arts, if we can never get a budget passed, fully restoring the arts, maybe even to more than what they were. That's a focus of mine. Making sure that the efforts that we, is that my 3-minute thing? Okay. Making sure that the efforts that we are making towards dropout, that we're not just throwing a bunch of money at it and putting articles in the paper and everyone who does their, I'm not a politician, so I'm not going to talk all fancy. Making sure everyone, they do their little press release and everyone smiles, but at the end of the day, nothing's really working. Just as many kids are dropping out, no one's finishing the program, and if that's happening, I want to be on that board to speak up, because if you haven't noticed by now, I'm not afraid to speak up. I will go against whoever I need to go against if it's in the best interest of the community. I live at 9th and Walnut, I do my laundry at 17th and Liberty, so I'm around regular folks all the time. I'm not a suit, I don't want to be a suit, I'm just me. So if you're looking for someone that just is a regular person, that's me. If you're looking for a politician who's smooth and has all the right words, go somewhere else. So, any questions?
Yes, I actually have one. What you said about the arts and restoring the arts in schools, I fully agree with that and fully support it. But to a certain extent, and it's becoming more and more prevalent, and it's actually growing. That gap in the arts in the schools is actually starting to be filled, just not in the public school area. You have the Charter High School for the Arts over in Bethlehem, which is fantastic. I've seen some of the students' works. You have 2 locations for School of Rock. So do you see that as like more filling the gap, or do you see that as eventually becoming part of the possibly becoming part of the problem to restore the arts to the schools?
I see those things, which are great efforts, as supplementing what we should be doing in the schools. What we should be doing in the schools is giving them, at least at the elementary level, a basic foundation of music, art, library, phys ed. And then if they want to go to the School of Rock after school, good for them. They can enhance all the skills that we've taught them as a district. I don't need to quote research. Research after research shows that kids learn better through movement. Today, I work at the Children's Home of Easton. These are kids that have missed, not exaggerating, years of school. Even when they were there, they weren't there. Today, we did poetry through listening to Tupac. And they were engaged beyond engaged. And if I would have just stood up there and read Shakespeare, they'd be sleeping. I'd have to wipe the drool off the desk. But these kids were up there, were rapping, and they were relating Tupac to Shakespeare, and then we related Shakespeare to, what was his name, W.E.B. Du Bois, and some things. It was a whole hodgepodge, and we got off track for a minute, and it was fun. The kids learned, they loved it. And if we can't do that in our schools, we will keep having our kids drop out.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Anyone want to ask about the myths and development?
Anybody that crazy is more like it.
I do have a question, and this is concerning the walkout. As a sitting board member, what is your take on that? And how do you see it from the student's perspective?
The students shouldn't have walked out during the school day. It's against the law. But there are obviously legitimate concerns. I'm not saying every kid that walked out because they're upset about their education. My friend, one of my god kids' friends walked out. She walked out for Chinese food, just like they put in. I mean, you had those kids, but some of them walked out because they know they're getting a raw deal. They know it because they have friends who go to Parkland and Salisbury, and they see what they get, and then they see what you get at Allen and what you get at Hira, and it's clicking. So for those kids, the ones who have actually sat down and thought about this, and they are engaged with, I guess, the bigger system, we need to talk with them. And an idea popped in my mind last night. As a board, the only time we really collectively sit down with all of the board reps is in the beginning when we have that little pizza thing. After that, if we reach out to them individually, okay, but we never collectively meet with them. So would it be so bad for us as a board to, on a regular basis, at least meet with the board reps in a very informal, non-public meeting, and just get to know them, they get to know us, we get to build this trust, and then when something is going on, I would hope that those students would then, and the student population would trust their board rep to bring it to us. So, yes.
I want to ask the other part of that question, because from what I saw in the media, it seems like it died down.
Oh, yeah.
So my question to you is that then, for those children that believe that they're really standing up for their rights, so to speak, how do you give that child hope as a board member?
I think we give that child hope by first showing that we are willing to engage with them, and then once we engage with them, not just listening and just listening for listening's sake. I've been on that side where you're going to the power structure and they listen to you, but they just listen to you to appease you, so that in the hopes that you go away. So I think what we need to do is when and if they bring up legitimate issues where there are structural things that can be and should be changed, we need to work towards changing that, not just listen to them to say, oh yeah, we listen to you.
Okay, now motivational, was that a wake-up call to the board, or was that a frustration?
I can't say for the, I don't know about for the board. For me, I knew stuff was building.
Okay.
I didn't think they would walk out. That was a surprise.
But in other words, what I guess what I should have said is, did you hear their cry? I guess that's the way I should